What's up, everyone? Ronnie here with another exciting episode today. We've got some serious NFL free agency drama to unpack. It's looking like a potential shakeup for the Kansas City Chiefs, and today's hot topic is none other than their starting offensive guard Trey Smith. Now, if you're an NFL fan, you know that free agency can make or break a team's roster, and Trey Smith is right in the thick of it this offseason. ESPN is suggesting that the dynamic and powerful OG could be leaving the Chiefs in free agency, and the whole NFL community is on edge. So what's really going on with Trey Smith? Could he be walking away from Kansas City this offseason? How would his departure affect the Chiefs' offensive line? We'll dive deep into all that and more so. Make sure to stay tuned. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. If you haven't already, you won't want to miss out on more NFL breakdowns coming your way. Let's get into it. All right, let's talk about Trey Smith. If you're a Chiefs fan, you already know what a beast he's been for the team. As a young player, Smith quickly made a name for himself as one of the most dominant offensive guards in the league, and his potential to anchor the Chiefs' offensive line for years to come seemed like a certainty. But ESPN's latest reports suggest that things might be changing, and the free agent market could be calling his name this offseason. So what are the reasons behind this? How serious are the chances of him leaving? And how could this impact the Chiefs as they look ahead to the future? Grab a seat because we're going to break it all down. Let's start by setting the stage a little bit. Trey Smith came to the Chiefs in the 2021 NFL Draft. Originally a fifth-round pick, Smith had major potential coming out of the University of Tennessee, despite some health concerns, which caused him to fall down draft boards. Smith was quickly proving to be one of the steals of that draft. He was tough, durable, and played with that signature nastiness that every great offensive lineman needs. From day one, Smith was making an impact in Kansas City, starting all 17 games of his rookie season and earning praise for his physicality and versatility. He's been an integral part of the Chiefs' offensive line ever since, and you can bet that Patrick Mahomes has appreciated having a guy like Smith in front of him. So what's going on now? Why is ESPN suggesting that Trey Smith could be leaving in free agency? Well, there's been some rumbling in the league about his future, and they're starting to get louder. In a recent article, ESPN pointed out that Smith's contract is coming to an end, and while he's been great for the Chiefs, there could be some factors that lead him to look for greener pastures. First, we need to talk about money. The salary cap is a tricky thing in the NFL, and every offseason teams have to make tough decisions on who to keep and who to let go. While Smith's performance has been stellar, there are financial pressures that may lead the Chiefs to rethink how they allocate their funds. On top of that, Smith's skill set is going to make him highly sought after on the open market. He's young, he's tough, and he's one of the better guards in the league right now. It's not just about the Chiefs deciding whether to keep him. It's also about the other teams out there who would be more than happy to make him an offer he can't refuse that could put the Chiefs in a tough spot. Now, let's talk about what the Chiefs would lose if Trey Smith were to leave. We're talking about a guy who started every game since his rookie year. He's a staple of the offensive line, and you really can't underestimate how important that is to a team that's built around a high-powered offense like Kansas City's. If Trey Smith isn't on the team next season, that creates a huge hole in the line, and it's not an easy position to fill. Sure, the Chiefs have some depth on the line, but replacing a guy who's already shown he can dominate at the highest level is no small feat. They'd have to either bring in a free agent or rely on their draft picks to fill that spot, and neither option comes without risks. So if Smith does decide to leave, where could he end up? Let's take a look at a few potential suitors. First up, you have to look at teams with money to spend and a need for an elite offensive guard. One team that immediately comes to mind is the Chicago Bears. They've got a ton of cap space and have been rebuilding their roster in a big way. They need a solid offensive line to protect their young quarterback Justin Fields. Bringing in Trey Smith could be a game changer for them. Another potential landing spot could be the Miami Dolphins. With their explosive offense and a quarterback like Tua Tagovailoa, Miami needs to solidify its protection up front. Trey Smith would be a major upgrade for them at guard, and with their aggressive approach to improving their roster, I wouldn't be surprised to see them pursue him. And don't forget about the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys have been in the mix for top-tier offensive linemen in recent years, and adding a player like Smith could give them even more firepower in the trenches. With Dak Prescott under center, keeping him protected is key to their success, and Trey Smith could make a huge impact in that regard. So, if you're the Chiefs, what do you do here? Do you let Smith test the waters, or do you make a push to keep him in KC? The first thing that comes to mind is that the Chiefs have been known for being when it comes to keeping their stars. However, as I mentioned earlier, the salary cap is always a factor. The Chiefs will have to evaluate whether it makes sense financially to keep Smith at his current rate, or if it would be better to allocate those resources elsewhere on the roster. They're always in win-now mode with Patrick Mahomes at the helm, so it's crucial that they make the right decisions. One thing's for sure, if they let Smith go, they'll need to have a solid plan in place to replace him there. Chiefs can't afford to take a step back on the offensive line, especially when they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league leading the charge. Now, let's think about Trey Smith's perspective for a second. What does he want out of his next contract? Is he looking for a long-term deal with the Chiefs, or is he thinking bigger? As a young player who's already proven himself in the NFL, Smith has the leverage to demand a big payday if he's looking to maximize his earning potential. Free agency might be the best route for him, but it's not all about the money. Some players value stability, the chance to stay with a winning franchise, and the opportunity to continue playing alongside elite teammates. So Smith might be weighing his options carefully. Does he stay in Kansas City, where he has a chance at multiple Super Bowls with Mahomes, or does he explore other opportunities now? Let's zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture. The Chiefs are a Super Bowl contending team right now. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, and other key players make this a team that could compete for championships for the next few years. But losing a key piece like Trey Smith could impact that championship window. A solid offensive line is crucial to keeping Mahomes upright, and without Smith, the Chiefs could find themselves struggling to find that same level of dominance up front that could have ripple effects across the offense. So the Chiefs can't afford to make a hasty decision here. If the Chiefs want to continue their reign as one of the top teams in the NFL, they have to be smart in their approach to free agency, and Trey Smith's future will be a major part of that. So to wrap things up, Trey Smith's future with the Chiefs is definitely up in the air right now. Esman's report about him potentially leaving in free agency has set the NFL world on fire, and the next few months will be crucial for both Smith and the Chiefs. Will he stay, or will he take his talents elsewhere? One thing is for sure, the NFL season is going to be full of twists and turns, and we'll be right here keeping you updated on all the latest news. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the action. We'll be back soon with more updates on Trey Smith and everything else going on in the NFL world. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.